И вот друзья, тоже мы продолжаем с вами план и это своя. У нас с вами новый эпизод. Ух, мы должны прорваться, мы должны нагнуть босса, который просто неимоверно. Но, собственно, там как надо сделать? Там месить всех тех.
So that Misty is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Please select a drop point. Please select supplies requested. Marker placed.
Nice going, boss. That mist is clearing. Great work, boss.
Copter.
I'm coming in on another chopper. Get Code Talker to the LZ and wait there.
Mission info has been updated.
Конечно, таких сложнейших миссий, сложнейших боссов,
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Get in, boss.
Support helicopter has arrived. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. That was rough. Thanks for getting us through it.
Вот вопрос реально. Если бы это есть другие миссии, понятно, честно. Ну ладно. Переигрывать я точно не буду. Ради там пару миссий.
Skullface is no longer in Africa. The nuclear test was a success. Now they turned their knives on me.
Satellites didn't read any test. Neither did seismometers.
The detonation test took place 5 years ago in the southern Indian Ocean. The final test was the opposite, to prevent detonation.
You mean?
Skullface plans to sell nuclear weapons that he retains control of.
It's not like hawking small arms to militias.
Indeed. He plans to avoid detection by exporting minerals containing tiny amounts of uranium in the form of metallic archaea. Once on site, the metallic archaea enrich the uranium and weaponize it. Loaded onto all-terrain bipedal machines, they ensure any country, armed group, even the smallest terrorist cell, can become a nuclear power.
Bipedal. So that's why they needed Huey.
A nuke business to replace the arms business. And Skullface owns the market.
The very atmosphere of nukes Anywhere and everywhere. Deterrence on all sides.
So that's why you ran a non-detonation test.
Yes. Another metallic archaea instantly overrides the criticality generator. It fails safe only he controls. Any such weapon can be deactivated whenever he chooses, regardless of who owns it or their intent to use it.
Nukes. Controlled by a man, not a country.
If they proliferate, conventional nukes lose all value. Political, military, and economic. The two superpowers become powerless.
The R&D and medical teams have come up with a proposal for a new suit that applies Code Talker's research, the Parasite suit. Apparently, it can recreate some of the Skull's unusual abilities. But in order to use those abilities, it needs parasites. If you want to wear this suit, you're going to need to get a hold of parasites by extracting skulls.
We need to stop the epidemic at Mother Base.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base, what's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation. And judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikongo strain, meaning a breed of parasite that triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikongo.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic?
Use this. A type of Wolbachia, introduced to a sample of the parasite. A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female and preventing copulation. We must cultivate more.
Нет.
Thanks to Code Talker, we've managed to put a stop to any new vocal cord parasite infections. We couldn't save those already symptomatic, but everyone who survived has been released from the quarantine platform. Skullface will pay for this.
Мне нравится вот эта шапка. Просто идея. А шапочка это пятюня. Прям все.
Again with the truth serum?
What are those legs made of? Titanium? All the way to the femur.
Metallic archaea.
Sahelanthropus. Where is it?
What?
We have to know before his plan is complete. Sahelanthropus is the final piece.
What are you talking about?
If the Soviets break out a mobile, controllable
Фига
nuclear
себе,
weapon,
сука.
East-West relations will be right back at the Cuban Missile Crisis.
The Cold War returns to life as countries without nuclear arsenals line up for what Skullface is selling. Nuclear weapons proliferate overnight, and on the brink of annihilation, the world maintains its balance.
But we know this is all just a shield, a ruse.
The cleansing parasites are what matter most. A WMD to eclipse even nukes, and the only one that can still be used. Skullface is the world's greatest threat, and Zero's. The pieces are in place. All that remains is to unveil Sahelanthropus in Afghanistan.
They can't activate it without me. Okay, B-Zero. Sahelanthropus is beyond the Soviet base camp, in a lab built by the Soviet philosophers. That's what you're looking for. But I have no idea how he's controlling it. It wasn't designed to accommodate a human pilot.
Вот и все. А до этого он все знал. А ты раньше сказать не мог, нет? Я вот не могу понять.
No! No! Wait!
We got word from Afghanistan. Everyone at the Soviet base camp's dead. No sign of fighting. Parasites. Skullface's men then headed north. The target is OKB-0. That's where he'll activate Sahelanthropus. Unless we stop him, he'll go down in history a conquering victor. We can't let that happen. Wipe him out. Don't leave any trace of his existence.
I'm gonna need backup on this one.
You'll rendezvous on site.
Он молчал, чего? спокойно мог это все рассказать. Продолжение следует. Нормально так.
Boss, about Eli. No matter how many times we talk to him, he just won't listen. He sees everything in terms of victory or defeat and still won't accept that you beat him. We're gonna have to put him in his place. Again. If you don't mind, come back to Mother Base and go another round with him.
Now, we must wait for the Wolbachia to multiply in the larvae.
How is the disease transmitted? If it's carried by insects or rodents, then...
There is no intermediate host.
So...
The vocal cord parasites lay their eggs in the larynx of the host. Most hatch and migrate to the lungs, but some are transported to the mouth through ciliary movement, mixing in with saliva.
Saliva. Droplet transmission. Sneezing, coughing. Any food or water containing infected saliva. It would spread fast.
Indeed. And when the larvae migrate to the lungs, symptoms can resemble the early stages of a cold, making it easy to infect others.
Meaning a simple conversation would be enough to pass it on.
Alright, so what happens after the larvae migrate to the lungs?
It is as I said before. They mature by feeding on alveolar tissue. It is only then that noticeable symptoms appear in the host.
And by that point, it's too late. He's infected everyone else. It's one hell of a weapon you've created.
That is what Blag Anna wanted. Something that would spread easily. In truth, he's not the reason. But we will discuss that another time.
The Wolbachia have multiplied. We're preparing to extract them and begin vaccinating. But is this really the only way? Sure, it'll prevent infection, but the cost?
You would rather remove their vocal cords?
No. Tactical communication's a linchpin of what we do.
What if we were to ban the use of Kakongo?
Insufficient. First, there's no guarantee that only the Kikongo strain is here. Second, there is the matter of how the parasites lay their eggs. Before they can copulate, they must be exposed to the pronunciation of a specific language for a period of time, like a container filling with water. But the duration between when the container is full and when the copulation actually begins varies from case to case. In other words, even if the infected stop speaking as a countermeasure, it may already be too late. The only true solution is to prevent copulation through the Wolbachia, or by physically removing the affected tissue.
Do any anti-parasitics work?
It sounds as though you have already tried.
Yeah. We tried every one there is, and nothing.
I have yet to find a medicine that can remove the parasites. At best, it temporarily covers their ears.
Why is that?
Because the parasites are companions to us. To remove them inevitably harms the host.
Companions?
More than you think. And this is why the human immune system cannot eliminate them.
We've inoculated the staff with Wolbachia to keep them from becoming symptomatic.
That should also contain the infection.
How did this happen in the first place?
It has to have been a Cypher spy within our ranks.
If this is so, then why the Kikongo strain? If their intent was to wipe you out,
Skullface said the remaining English parasite was close to the boss. If this latest strain was his doing, he wouldn't have tipped his hand.
it is possible someone brought eggs onto the base without knowing. Stuck to their shoes, clothing.
Now that makes the most sense to me.
And where did the eggs come from?
You mentioned that your boss visited Nzoya Badiopulu.
Sure, but his gear's disinfected immediately upon return.
Then he was not the carrier.
And not just the boss. All staff dispatched to high-risk regions were quarantined on the flight back. When the symptoms first appeared, we checked and disinfected all equipment used up to that point. Any and all prisoners, soldiers, materials, and animals extracted during missions were also quarantined.
So, that just leaves...
I have seen children around here. Where are they from?
All over. Some were being held hostage at a mine. Then there were the troublemakers at Bwala Yamasa.
Bwala Yamasa?
Yeah.
Their clothes, their things. Did you burn them?
They're just kids. We couldn't. And besides, not one of them's shown symptoms.
The parasites don't infect prepubescent hosts. Their vocal cords are not fully developed.
Well, if infection doesn't occur in children...
It is possible they carried eggs on their clothes, and the infection spread from them.
Check the kid's stuff.
I doubt there is any trace left by now.
But if there is, some of those kids must be close to hitting puberty. How could we have missed this?
The name Bwala Yamasa got quite a reaction from you. I'm guessing the Kikongo strain was released in that village.
Cypher used that region to experiment with vocal cord parasite transmission. The Kikongo strain. The settlements around the refinery upstream of Bwala Yamasa were the proving grounds. They would infect one villager, then record transmission speed. Dangerous work. If they failed to contain the infection, it would slip into the surrounding regions.
At which point the world found out about the parasites, making them useless as a weapon. Incredible they'd risk such a thing.
The test site was densely populated too. A terrible place for such experiments. No doubt, they thought burning everything would wipe away all traces. The settlements were covered in oil anyway. Who would wonder if one day they caught fire? And so it did. They burned it all. Living and dead.
Those remains.
But they miscalculated. Transmission speed was far faster than anticipated. It may have been the temperature, or hygiene standards, or perhaps the parasites reacted quickly to Kikongo. Whatever the reason, nearly all villages were swiftly infected, and the settlements reduced to mounds of corpses. Making matters worse, the dry season was ending. When it came time to burn the village, the Moneni River had swelled. Many of the bodies were waterlogged.
Meaning they didn't burn completely.
The corpses still contained viable eggs, and the larvae washed downstream. And when the people downstream drank that water...
That marked the end for Bwala Yamasa.
I learned all of this at the mansion. I warned him of the risk of eggs getting out.
And?
We are prepared for any eventuality.
I get it. Putting the oil field back online. The oil leaks, saner. They plan to pollute the river. Prevent the spread of infection.
But the oil flow was stopped. And downstream, the people of Masa village started using the water again. The PF soldiers deployed at the village were locals, spoke Kikongo. They were infected, and the kids survived.
I've heard enough.
And who stopped the flow of oil?
Don't.
We did.
That confirms it. The source of the Kikongo strain infection was Masa village. And the children brought it here. It is no one's fault. There is no blame to be cast.
The parasites. They were tested in other regions?
Their physiology requires that they be tested under varied conditions. Another test site was in Afghanistan.
So it was the parasites there.
Both the Pashto and Tajik languages are spoken in the mountains of Afghanistan, and population density is low. Ideal testing grounds for how accurately the parasites target only the specified language. It is also relatively easy to prevent the spread of infection.
And the results?
The first test, I am told, was a success. Once the Pashtun Mujahideen were infected with the Pashto strain, they were all but wiped out.
The Hamid fighters at Smasei Fort.
It was doubly successful. No Tajik Mujahideen or Soviet soldiers became symptomatic.
So the parasites proved to be effective. What about the second test?
Also supposedly a success. A Pashtun village was the target. However, the original aim was to obtain samples of the infected. In this, they failed.
And the village?
The Soviets enacted a standard scorched earth operation.
That must have been the village where Malak lived, before being held captive at La Marjate Palace.
Having had more time to think on it, the details shared with me may have been false. They are madmen who would do anything to cover up the truth.
They certainly seem to like tossing their problems in the fire.
As a boy, Skullface's life went up in flames. Perhaps that is what fuels his fixation with fire.
Your Wolbachia stopped the infection all right, but I still don't get it. How can a few bacteria change males to females? I know they're only bugs, but...
It is not such a rare thing in the natural world. Many insects and nematodes are infected with Wolbachia.
But why?
They nest in the cell cytoplasm of the host, even in the egg cells, with the result that the offspring are born infected.
Mother-to-child transmission.
However, Wolbachia cannot nest in sperm because they do not have cytoplasm. So even a successful infection of a male ends after a single generation. This means the Wolbachia must resort to maximizing the population of infected females.
Sounds like an ethnic cleansing campaign on a tiny scale.
Gender change from male to female is their survival tactic.
So more females means more Wolbachia carriers, so it can keep thriving in the following generations.
But the parasites in a human host are supposed to be a mating pair. If there's no male, there'll be no offspring at all. It's killing itself.
Slow down. This tactic is intended for environments where a single male can copulate with multiple females. Originally, the Wolbachia did not infect the vocal cord parasites. I created a mutated strain, modifying the Wolbachia so that it could infect monogamous pairs. The Wolbachia's greatest multiplying tactic, the male-to-female change, worked against itself in the monogamous parasites. Just as you said. Then, I performed repeated selection of Wolbachia strains until I achieved 100% certainty of male-to-female conversion.
Creating female-female pairs, unable to reproduce.
And you say the Wolbachia affects the host of the host, that is, us, cutting off our means to reproduce?
It is almost certain. Of course, we will not turn female. mammals possess no natural gender-changing function, but some Wolbachia strains can cause cytoplasmic incompatibility in the host.
Is that some cell deformity?
Put simply, it means the altered sperm of infected males kill the female's egg on contact.
And that's happened to us?
Yes. And yet, what occurs in humans is not just simple CI. To date, there are no cases of Wolbachia affecting humans. The fact that this strain causes this effect, is it the vocal cord parasite's affinity with humans? I do not know enough to say for sure.
So the parasite warps the host. Reminds me of what Skullface said.
It is the way of all organisms to create their own optimal environment. Just look at you and this space.
То есть свинячий гриб, там поросячий, птичий гриб, говно там всякое, эбола и прочее, прочее, прочее. Вот оно как раз и повылезало. Ну, по сути, по факту.
That creates a connection between life and life. Parasitism, symbiosis, or death. In this way, the host too is challenged to adapt.
Да.
Code Talker, what are the metallic archaea?
Volcanic craters spewing sulfur. Water hot enough to boil your skin off. Ocean depths of 800 plus atmospheres. Wastelands radioactive enough to kill you where you stand. There are groups of organisms that survive despite. No. Because of living in such environments.
I've heard about them. Extremo something.
Extremophiles. By selecting certain species, then subculturing and repeatedly modifying them, I created a metallic offspring of pure archaea. They subsist on metals rather than organic matter.
And some of them even consume uranium?
Yes. Uranium enrichment archaea metabolize only uranium-235. As a result, they produce weapons-grade enriched uranium.
How is that possible?
Consider how plants fractionate carbon isotopes when they conduct photosynthesis. Nature possesses abilities beyond our imagination.
So it was archaea that brought down your chopper?
Corrosive archaea, yes. They oxidize metals, feeding off the energy in the electrons they receive. What became of the wreckage?
We had the R&D team retrieve samples for study in airtight plastic containers, of course.
Prudent. We shall extract archaea from it in good time. They should help you fight back against Blagana.
Any chance we could start now? It doesn't have to be a lot. I might just have another use for them.
If it's only a small amount you need.
That's fine. I'll get the R&D team to assist. Let's go.
South Africa was previously suspected of developing nuclear weapons. It already had a conspicuous presence at the UN because of apartheid and its armed expansionism. But when neighboring Angola and Mozambique became socialist countries in '74, South Africa felt hounded into a corner. So it accelerated its nuclear program to protect itself. 3 years later, the Soviets discovered a test facility, and 2 years after that, an American satellite observed a flash in the southern Indian Ocean. It said this was South Africa conducting a nuclear test with the help of a certain
Неизвестного союзника. Нормальный такой. Не совсем неизвестный союзник.
to get this ally to lend a hand. They both wanted nukes, so it was a mutually beneficial relationship. On the surface, anyway.
I figure South Africa started getting serious about nuclear weapons production in '75. In '74, the government was still able to get by with bluffing that it had a nuclear arsenal. But the year after, Word spread that an independent armed group in the Caribbean was crushed by Cypher for possessing a WMD. That's right, boss. What happened to you and your men was the reason South Africa decided to push ahead with nuclear development. A force independent of any country getting its hands on a nuke. That is a threat to the existence of countries everywhere. It wasn't just South Africa. Your presence pushed a lot of countries to get nukes. The world was scared of you. You were a threat to more than just the Cold War. If nations are gears in a machine, you have the power to smash nukes and watch the whole world grind to a halt.
Так. Ну, теперь-то точно можно посылать. Нет? Ну ладно.
Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched.
Испытание Илая.
Please select a landing zone.
Ну, давайте-ка испытаем. Испытаемся с Илаем. Мне нравится, такая хрень висит. Очень реалистично. Очень мощная.
Has that brat finally accepted that he lost? Hopefully now he'll be a bit more obedient.
At Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Так, теперь что там у нас? Ну да. Ну-ка, давайте посмотрим, что тут. Там, по идее, какая-то то ли танк, то ли машина, то ли говно какое-то построено быть. Сейчас посмотрим, что тут должно быть. Или чего нету. Нифига. И что, вот теперь такой танк может со мной? Охренеть. Не, ну таким-то танком, конечно, круто управлять.
Welcome back, boss.
Это, конечно, очень круто. А, машину надо, да.
Please select a mission.
Мгм.
Commencing platform construction.
О,
Please specify a project.
м.
Please specify a project.
А, здесь этот надо, да, я понял. Так, хорошо.
Please specify a project.
Used to this place?
I guess so. Yeah.
It's good. It is pretty unique, after all.
Yeah. I was confused by a lot of things at first, but I feel welcome.
Well, that's what counts, right? Nobody here treats you differently based on your color or country. In that respect, it's very open-minded.
Yeah. I don't know what the future holds, but for now, I plan on staying.
Glad to hear it. Looking forward to working with you.
Same here.
Ну тут много чего не хватает, да. Ну, для болота такая себе. Поддержки. Ну вот, а сейчас тогда надо будет поддержку изучить. Коробки это вообще фуфло какое-то, я не знаю, несусветное.
Please select and please specify a project. Please select a drop point. Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Понятно. Я даже туда не полезу. Это просто...
Roger. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Куда там обозначил, все, насрать.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Здесь вот мне нравится действительно с ней поддержка. Охренеть, конечно. Это, по-моему, лучшая пати. Это опять.
Please select a mission. Please select a mission.
bodies north of the Soviet base. That's where Skullface is keeping Sahelanthropus before setting it loose in Afghanistan. There's a good chance he's got nukes, too. Boss, we need to figure out what Skullface is up to. If you make contact with him, get him to talk. The ethnic cleansing parasites, Sahelanthropus. Find out what his plans are. All we know is that Skullface's plans are on the verge of fruition. We need to stop him while we still can.
А где транспорт?
Soviet soldiers in that area are all dead. Apparently XOF unleashed the Russian parasite strain. To isolate the facility, they first spread reports of a chemical weapon leak. The infection won't spread into the surrounding regions. Still, I think they just exterminate the men who work with them all this time. Skullface must be making his final play.
Ну, тут да. Так, вот я хотел сброс.
Please select supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Угу.
Snuck into the cargo on board the chopper. His idea of an escape attempt? Who could say? We'll think of how to deal with him later.
Snake, do you read me? I know more than anyone about OKB-0 and Sahelanthropus. Boss, I've made up my mind. I want to be of use to you, not him. Let me work to pay for what I've done. I'll prove it, that I've always been your ally.
Boss, I'll be focused on coordinating backup here at Mother Base. The chain of command is still in place. If you have orders, give them through Miller as usual. Skullface is in OKB-0. Start by making contact with him. The facility itself is under the control of XOF, Cypher's strike force. We have no hard data on their force strength, so your judgment in the field will be key. Boss, we're finally here. Find Skullface, and take everything from him. XOF has occupied the facility. Skullface must be close.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Не, ну тут как... Да, это, конечно, тут вот... Да?
Analysis complete.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Somebody got pulled away by a balloon. Probable intruder. Please advise.
This is CP. Understood. All fire teams check your surroundings. Flush out the intruder. Out.
What's going on?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Locate the sniper. Out.
You gonna extract him?
Да...
Caution. Enemy strike approaching.
Combat position. All units to combat position.
О, как?
Good work. 2 more gates to go. Still all quiet at the silo. No sign of Skullface or his Goliath.
Surely they can't already have... No, never mind.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Development complete. Development complete.
Ну как вертолет нас не видит, не слышит? Я уже так неплохо все понабрал. Красно.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Fire!
Ну что же, прорвались. Так, теперь нам только наверх, я как понимаю, или вниз. Черт пойми. Очень, кстати, похоже на вторую часть. А, и в первой такой же мостики там всякие были.
right there. Make contact with him and make him talk. We have to stop him before his plan is set in motion. Sahelanthropus is somewhere inside there. First of all, make contact with Skullface. Don't kill him yet.
Гениально. Просто пойти и побеседовать просто с главным протагонистом, просто пойти и побеседовать. Ну, это, по-моему, лучшее, что может быть.
You too have known loss, and that loss torments you still. You hope hatred might someday replace the pain, but it never goes away. It makes a man hideous, inside and out. Wouldn't you agree? We both are demons. Our humanity won't return. You, me, we've no place to run, nowhere to hide. And that is why I'll show you my demon. Follow me, big boss.
Нифига себе. Нормальная такая.
Just go along with him for now. We're ready to fight if it comes to that. That's our leverage against him, our deterrent. He doesn't want a war on his hands.
Whatever the Navajo told you, it's just one possible solution derived by Cypher. My will is different.
У меня свои цели. Ну, логично.
I've known you since your time at Langley. I've long been the other side of your coin. 1964, Soviet territory. Box's first mission. Any mess you made, I was there to clean up. You completed your task, and admirably. The information you returned was far more than enough to fill our pockets. With it, our futures became, more or less, set in stone.
То есть это еще с самого первого. Офигеть просто.
And then the Major came to me with an idea. Washington doesn't know how to spend money, he said. I'd like to redirect it. His goal was an organization dedicated solely, covertly, to supporting America. Cypher. You know the rest. To him, it was mourning the loss of his friend. Or rather, an act of revenge on the world, but America most of all.
Что-то как-то все странно.
America is a country of liberty, a meeting of immigrants. Instead of simply assimilating, its citizens live alongside others. Their roots are varied, diverse. America's never been made up of just one. But he tried to forge a single consciousness, for it and from it. The idea that every citizen would use free will to unite behind their country. Unilateralism like that can't be entrusted to any one individual. So the Major sought a system that used information, words, to control the subconscious.
А, ну все логично. НЛП и гипноз. Куда же мы поедем? Вот отличный кадр. Классный кадр. Это прям на заставочку пойдет. Просто в Скайриме.
To unite America and the entire world. The Major thought this was his friend's rule, but I think he never understood what she wanted. Before he ever walked or cried, even before he was born, his mother tongue was English. He doesn't know the pain of losing his own language. Not yet. He cannot understand her will. I do. I was born in a small village. I was still a child when we were raided by soldiers. Foreign soldiers. Torn from my elders, I was made to speak their language. With each new post, my masters changed, along with the words they made me speak. Words are peculiar. With each change, I changed too. My thoughts, personality, how I saw right and wrong.
Ну правильно, язык — это идентичность.
And not only my
Это все логично.
I was invaded by words, burrowing and breeding inside me. A philosopher once said, "It is no nation we inhabit, but a language." Make no mistake, our native tongue is our true fatherland. My fatherland, my truth was stolen from me. And so was my past. All that's left is the future. And mine is revenge. On those who bleach off the words of their fellow man. This is what I learned from the Major. And then it hit me. It was he who should feel my wrath. He and the code he chose as basis for control. Language codes, information codes, beamed all around us, genetic codes spanning history. By controlling the codes, Cipher Zero intends to unify the world. Codes implanted into our heads, sucking our minds dry as it spreads from one host to the next. A parasite upon this earth, that is what Zero is. As one born into this world, he's afflicted. I hold him responsible for killing my freedom. Killing all traces of my past. Killing any promise of a future. We are all but dead men forced to walk upon this earth. A world reduced to zero. Cipher plans to use its codes to control the world. They think they can. And the mother tongue of all those codes is English. The word became flesh. The final parasite. It knows English. An English strain of the vocal parasite. I will exterminate the English language. With this, I'll rid the world of infestation.
Ого.
All men will breathe free again. Reclaim their past, present, and future.
Короче, он всех англичан хочет стереть американцев.
It is a liberator. To free the world from zero. Let the world be.
Нифига себе.
Sans lingua franca. The world will be torn asunder. And then it shall be free.
People will suffer, of course. A phantom pain. The world will need a new common tongue. A language of nukes. My metal ears shall be the thread by which all countries are bound together in equality. No words will be needed. Every man will be forced to recognize his neighbor. People will swallow their They will link lost hands. And the world will become one. This war is peace.
Логично. Кстати, вот это потом такие заставки и все прочее перекочевало как раз в Death Stranding. Вот Death Stranding тоже надо пройти будет. Это, конечно, да. А куда мы едем? Зон-то какой пошел. Нифига себе. Прям вау. Прям музон-то музон, прям удивительно, что такие вставляют подходы. Я понял, где это. Нифига себе.
The hands of the doomsday clock will roll on, regardless of zero. Sahelanthropus will take the first giant step into a brave new world. It is the bell with which a world trodden upon by words declares its independence. We are here. Remember the Alamo.
Алама? Кто такой Алама?
We're not the only demons in this world. Like you, vengeance is all he has. It's man's thirst for revenge that drives the times.
No fact.
Just as you live because of me, he lives because of you. Show him!
Только не говорите, что это вот из второй или из третьей части, чувак. Вот только не говорите. Потому что вот этот пояс, кажется, у него был. Нифига себе, кинцо тут заехало.
Who is doing this? Such a lust for revenge? Who?
Он как фильмы делает, это, конечно, да, это прям вот это... Да, конечно, вот эта фишка его подачи, это мощно. Это действительно мощно. О! Да.
Mission list updated.
Не кисло, не кисло, не кисло. Так, хорошо, значит, мы здесь сейчас награды соберем, руководство сделаем, да, и уже в следующей серии, уже именно в следующей серии, так. Будем... сейчас целый. Нифига себе. Ну ладно. Что ж такое-то?
Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched.
Хорошо. Хорошо. Так что, дорогие друзья, мы сегодня много чего сделали. И, кстати говоря, почему он не смог восстановить? Или он его не видит? Ментиса, да, или кто это? Он его не видит почему-то. Во-первых, почему он его не видит? Непонятно. Так что, дорогие друзья, до следующей серии.